nothing wrong with the dunk, but the stare down and the trying to talk mess in a game like that, and it's like, all right, you realize you see us next Friday, so that's gonna in our building too, so that's gonna be fun. You know, they're obviously a team that gave us our one in that win-loss column, and you know, we thought at the time they could have won with a little more class, some of those guys, but I would have been fired up too, so we definitely remember that.
So the Warriors are looking forward to tomorrow's rematch against the Bucks, but feel they could have showed a little more class after ending their 24-game win streak last Saturday. They took it to Twitter. The Warriors tweeted out the following: "See you on Friday, Bucks. #DubNation. You're invited." You're invited is my favorite part, Skip. But how surprised are you that the Warriors are making this such a big deal?
Molly, Stephen A., I'm very surprised and highly amused by all this. And Stephen A., here's the truth. The Milwaukee Bucks are 10-17. The Milwaukee Bucks should be the equivalent of bugs on Golden State's windshield. It is so beneath 25-1 Golden State's dignity to even recognize this team's visit on Friday night and make a big pro wrestling style deal out of we're going to get our revenge. You are? This is the same team, these Bucks, who Stephen A. lost the 2 games going into the Golden State visit and lost the 2 games coming out of the Golden State victory, you know, the big upset of Golden State. And we all know that Milwaukee caught Golden State at the perfect time, obviously coming off the double overtime survival in Boston the night before. Klay Thompson was trying to come back off his ankle injury, as we all know. And that night, Milwaukee shot 4 for 14, 2 for 7 from 3, scored 14 points. Not exactly the Klay we saw last night. Steph had an off night from 3, was 2 for 9. So when your Splash Brothers go 4 for 16 from 3 and your team goes 6 for 27 from 3 on the 7th, and final game of a road trip, which is highly predictable, no big deal, no sweat. And I get it that Michael Carter-Williams dunked at the end of the game and stared down the bench, and they took it really personally. Come on, it's Michael Carter-Williams. Who is he? Because I'm asking that. Who is he? Because he's way overrated to me. And there's a reason even Philly got rid of Michael Carter-Williams. So who cares? You're 25-1. Just take care of business on Friday night. It's pretty simple to me.
Well, it's not that simple. You're missing the boat as far as this. And not only that, Michael Carter's a growing player. He's not there yet, but he's got a lot of potential, and Philly was stupid to trade him. Let's be clear about that.
I disagree with that.
Well, you go ahead and disagree. You're going to look at the 76ers roster and think it was smart for them to let go of Michael Carter-Williams?
I can't defend what they got back, but he's troubled.
Well, that's the point.
He's broken down. He's always hurt. He won't play hurt. I don't have much respect for him. That's just me.
I respect the kid. He does have to play through injuries more. You're absolutely right about that. But at the same time, I think he's got some potential. He's no scrub.
Well, he's in the right place because Jason Kidd does love him and is trying to put him in the right place at the right time.
And that's exactly where I'm going. The fact that it's Jason Kidd coaching this team, I'm not worried about their 10-17 start. They'll get it together. Eventually, they'll find a rhythm. They had some injuries, and we'll see where they go from there. Now, I expect them to get annihilated Friday night. There's no question about that. They could surprise us. They could shock us and make it far more competitive. But as far as I'm concerned, especially with Klay Thompson back in their lineup, seemingly having found his rhythm back because he was clearly rusty after missing a couple of games prior to that Saturday night game against Milwaukee, I think they're going to pay a hefty price. But I love the fact that Golden State has this attitude. You see, coming into this season, remember, my pick was for Oklahoma City to go to the NBA Finals. Obviously, we all modified our positions, at least to some degree, when it came to what we've seen from Golden State. And we start saying, okay, San Antonio could take them. Oklahoma City might have a shot, but not if Golden State continues to play this way. But can they continue to play this way? Well, the way that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are capable of shooting, they most certainly are capable of playing this way. And so now you have to look at them a little bit differently and say, what's the ingredient to their success? Because Steph Curry could always shoot, and Klay Thompson could always shoot. Yes, Draymond Green has upped his game. He's gotten a bit better. Andre Iguodala has improved his three-point shooting. Harrison Barnes isn't even in the lineup. Imagine when he comes back, it's only going to be better for them. And Steve Kerr's not coaching. You got Luke Walton coaching them. So all of these things, what makes them successful? Here's what makes them successful. Skip, they're finding every little thing to be irritated about. That's what champions do. Because over the course of an 82-game, mundane, arduous, regular season, you have to find different nuggets of motivation to carry you through. Otherwise, you will be bored going up against the Milwaukee Bucks on a Friday night in Oakland when there are other things that you could be doing. You will get bored. But the fact that they're willing to find other things to motivate them, this is what champions do. Michael Jordan was the best at it.
He was.
Kobe Bryant did it. LeBron has done it. The Lakers and the Celtics did it. The 76ers with their 83 title run with Moses Malone, they did it. Champions tend to do. I remember everybody talk about Bird and Boston. You know who I thought about most when it came to the Boston Celtics, Skip? Cedric Maxwell, my man, because he always found something to say, and he would irritate other people or respond to them irritating the Boston Celtics. Now, you could go through the 82-game regular season, especially with the exorbitant amount of dollars these brothers are getting paid, and you're like, look, the sun will shine tomorrow. I'm going to be just fine. Remember, Klay Thompson signed a $70+ million contract a couple of years back. And by the way, I think he's underpaid.
He is.
So when you look at it, so when you look at them, the fact that they're willing to find something to be motivated about, especially when they just remember it's less than a week ago they lost to Milwaukee. Milwaukee looked stupid for trying to talk junk to them, but they had their moment. We'll see what happens Friday night. I like the fact that the Warriors have this attitude. They're showing me what champions are made of, and I appreciate that.
Okay, that is a fair point. I don't know if I can go to Jordan-esque here, but they do have chips on shoulders that they've had from the start of the year. We on this show didn't even recognize Steph as an MVP candidate when we picked our MVPs before the year started. We didn't give Golden State much of a shot to win the West. Now we have to recalibrate everything, and as you say, at this very moment, if you ask me, can my Spurs beat Golden State in a 7-game series, I would say at this moment, no. That's how much Golden State, again, to your point, if you get Harrison Barnes back and Steve Kerr back, my Lord. You know, I've never seen quite like this. I don't think Oklahoma City can beat them, but to your point, it's because they've had a chip on their shoulder all year. My point is, the Bucks are 10-17. I don't think they represent any real threat on Friday night, but maybe as you say, you need some way to sort of re-motivate yourself.
Michael Jordan was accused of literally fabricating and making stuff up that people may have said or done to motivate himself. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I don't know what he's upset. What are you talking about? And everybody was alluding to Michael Jordan being upset. At least with the Golden State Warriors, there's legitimate stuff that you can point to that is irritating. You're the Milwaukee Bucks. You walked into the arena with 24-and-1 T-shirts. The atmosphere was rabid. And everything that you did, you would accentuate with stares and the pointing of fingers and stuff like that, knowing you had to play these brothers 6 days later. So I think it's legitimate. Now, Greg Monroe showed up, had a dominant performance with 28 points. Andrew Bogut didn't do anything offensively, but he did have 5 blocks. If you're Milwaukee, you're thinking you've got the ingredients to go at these guys and to potentially beat them, but you look at that crowd and how they were acting, Golden State's like, now you in our house. And you were chirping.
But
we'll see you Friday.
Trust me, the Bucks don't care. They got their one. That's all they care about right now.
Super Bowl.
They got
it. It depends on how they lose. If you lose, fine. But if you get obliterated and everybody's laughing at you for the entire second half, I don't care that you got your one. To have to sit there and be humiliated, that's not going to be easy to take for anybody.
Well, then it won't be easy because they will get obliterated.
I think they're going to get annihilated. I think so.
But both great points. They're champions. They continue to find ways to motivate themselves, but also they're champions, so maybe they should be above it. Someone who knows about both those things, Tom Brady. His play on the field is getting trumped by what's happening off the field.
Clever.
You follow?
Like it.
All right. We'll explain after the break.